Hello everyone, my name is Aiden, and welcome back to the town of Tiffin. I hope you enjoyed that little skit at the beginning. It was something I just threw together, and for a first go at one of those, I'm pretty proud, honestly. I know there's definitely room for improvement on them, and there's definitely more to come with those, so stay tuned for that. In today's episode, we're going to be working on a lot more residential expansion. I noticed a lot of empty spaces that needed filling in, and that's what we're going to be doing today, filling in empty spaces. And around the end of the video, I have a little story time about the history on Tiffin. So, stick around for that. Or skip to it, I don't mind. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this neighborhood building time lapse, and I'll see you soon.
Every time that I see your face, it always makes me smile. And every time that I drive to you, it's always worth my while. So let me sing for you, like the birds in the mountains do, like a child who cries for you, cries for you. So So let me sing for you about the streets and the avenues. There's nothing I'd rather do, rather do. You not like you. You not like you. You not So let me sing for you, like the birds in the mountains do, like a child who cries for you, cries for you. So let me sing for you, about the streets and the avenues. There's nothing I'd rather do, rather do. So let me sing for you, like the birds in the mountains do, like a child who cries for you, cries for you. So let me sing for you, about the streets and the avenues. There's nothing I'd rather do, rather do. Every time that I see your face, it always makes me smile. Oh, oh. And every time that I drive to you, it's always worth my while. Oh, oh. So let me sing for you, like the birds in the mountains do, like a child who cries for you, cries for you. So let me sing for you, about the streets and the avenues. There's nothing I'd rather do, rather do. You not like you. You not like you. You
Now this is where we get into some of the history of Tiffin. We're going to pause in this frame for a little and add some sentimental value to the story. These three homes, the Robinsons, an elderly couple that have lived here since the town's very beginnings, Kate and Jim Hammerstone, a newly wedded couple that saw Tiffin as a perfect place to start a new life together, and the Irwins, a family of four who just moved in about 3 years ago, are all about to get their homes demolished because a rich man by the name of Douglas R. Patterson saw this, in quotes, vacant plot of land as a perfect place for his new mansions for him and his family. Now, he isn't just doing this just to do it. This man is about to put Tiffin on the map, making more than just a little town in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. He's here to help fund and build the town a nuclear power plant. More on that in the next episode. Now, here's the kicker. Douglas said, "The only way I'll build this power plant is if I get to live here." And so he showed plans for his mansion neighborhood to the mayor, and the mayor approved and told the people who already lived in the neighborhood that their homes were going to be demolished and they'd be reimbursed. The residents were not happy at all about this, but knew there was nothing they could do to stop it from happening. So they packed their stuff and moved into the new neighborhoods that were just built in the area and settled down there. The demolition of these homes and the construction of the Paterson homes began immediately. Hey everyone, hope you guys enjoyed that story time on some history of Tiffin. I'm definitely incorporating more stuff like that into my videos because I love imagining how towns actually form and how they start. And I feel like I also kind of stick out from the rest of Cities Skylines creators because I don't really see many of them doing what I'm doing, I guess you could say, at least from what I've seen. But if you guys have any ideas or lore on the city, I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments down below, and I will take it into consideration. I'll look at it, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, you suck. No, I'm kidding. But moving on here to the build. I only detail one of the homes because if I were to do all four of them, that would probably increase the runtime of this video to about 40 minutes, and I don't want that. I know you guys probably don't want that either, considering you don't want to watch a 40-minute long video of me playing City Skylines and talking for an extra 20 minutes. But I do have a couple shots at the end of the video of the finished neighborhood so that you will eventually get to see what the rest of the houses look like. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's going on here. So right now we're just detailing up the driveway and make it all fancy, adding some little bushes to line the driveway, make it, you know, pop a little bit more, know the actual edge so you don't go out into the grass, realistically speaking. But just about a minute or two ago, when I was talking before, what you saw, I was just placed down the four homes and added the property line, which is the trees, and then I detailed the property line up even more by adding fences, a brown fence along the edge. This fence is just for the actual property line of the house and not just the neighborhood. But okay, so as we're detailing this up here, yeah, here's the fencing that I was talking about. As we're detailing this up here, I do want to take a moment to talk about why I chose this location for the neighborhood and not some place out in the middle of the countryside. Well, one, I do want to build a bunch of mansions out in the countryside, but not right now. I gotta wait till the town grows a little bit more, because it's just not that time yet. I mean, we're still a little town. We're not even a city yet. But that will come eventually. Just you guys wait. Just you wait. And two, it gave the city more of a history. I guess you can kind of see that as I was talking about history before. But to know that the city actually went through with this plan of building these giant neighborhoods or this giant mansion neighborhood for a millionaire, I just popped in and said, "Hey, I'm going to build you a nuclear power plant. Now build me some mansions." It kind of just shows how the government worked in that sense, or how this government works. Because not every government's going to be perfect. And I don't want this one to be perfect either. It's not going to be the perfect world. It's got to be something realistic. And that's what I'm basically here to do. Make it a somewhat realistic, but also fictional storyline of how parts of the real world worked back in like the 60s, the 50s, 60s, 70s. Even though I wasn't around back then, this is kind of like my take and from what I've done and my knowledge. But this is also a sort of a metaphor to real life, as I've said, on how millionaires just come along and either build mansions or massive corporations over top of land that is already in use. Example, Intel's massive computer chip manufacturing plant. I mean, that's going to destroy homes. That's going to destroy people's farmlands. That's going to destroy habitats for animals. And yes, it's in the middle of the countryside, but then that could also be used, or finding a different place to put this manufacturing plant so it doesn't destroy these people's homes. And at the same time, there's always that, well, you have to make these kind of decisions, even though it might not be good for the good of everybody, because you can't make everybody happy. That's just how this is. Can't make everybody happy. But, I mean, they disrupt the land of homes around them just for their own wealth and their well-being. But, like I said, I mean, not everybody can be happy. But on a less somber note, let's continue back to the whole video game, not real life, and how corrupt and disturbing it may be. I'm building I'm blanking. I'm building a garden. I am building a garden, guys. It's just a cute little garden in the backyard where pretty low detail, just a couple of plants here and there. I had a gazebo here eventually, but I had a lot of fun making this episode, even though editing it was a pain in my ass. But I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it, as I did making it. And it's now starting to understand the lore and the idea that I want around Tiffin. But there's that gazebo you guys are seeing, and here's the hot top-down view with the topography line showing that I forgot to get rid of. Oh well. Here's a close-up of the grandparents' house, or the mom and dad. There's the brother and sister. I don't have names for any of these guys yet, but if you want to create names for them, I am so down. But here's a little drive-through, I guess, down the street. It is a private access street, so nobody can access it except for the people who live here, of course. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you want to see in the next one. If you got any ideas, let me know. What I could do better on, where can I improve. But on that note, I will leave you guys off with this last cinematic here, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.